You're seeing the challenges for those businesses to also get leverage. If you look through the SME sector, the same thing is happening. But the speed at which some of the larger lending institutions have pulled back on lending to high emission sectors is also just, in a way, it's not necessarily doing the right thing, because ultimately you need to lend to these businesses to help them actually make the transition. And ultimately, still, as a community, we're still massively reliant on fossil fuels, right? So the whole SME sector needs more support, needs support to actually make the transition, helping them both with the knowledge of how to make the transition, but also the financing to make that happen.
The trend is that despite that regulation might not be fully in place, despite that externalities are not priced in properly, despite that carbon pricing is not properly priced, I do see a clear trend that people are starting to embed and incorporate. The challenge is how. We've really moved. So the debate now in Davos was not around, should we do this? What are our targets? What are our pledges? The debate is now really on how.
In my case, specifically with our company, Clarity AI, what we try to help doing is measurement, right? So in terms of, in order to prioritize where to focus or which companies you invest in or what areas do you focus on to have a better impact, of course, you need to measure first. So the way we use technology for that is in various ways. So for the data part and Scope 3, as you were saying, is a huge challenge, is helping investors and companies assess Scope 3 using estimation models, so machine learning models. Also for Scope 1 and 2, because only 8,000 companies or so, public companies I'm talking about, report CO2 emissions. We expand that coverage to about 30,000 companies, public companies. So it's on the data, it's estimating data that is not available, it's capturing data from unstructured or alternative data as well, and then applying methodologies that make the data easier to understand. So you can see one number instead of seeing 100 metrics, right, for thousands of companies. And of course, accessibility. So bringing the data where the users need it. And that's actually might seem that that's an easy challenge, but is one of the big challenges. It's not always that the data is not there. It's that it's not there when you need it and where you need it. And everyone, all the investors are using their own platforms. So they want to see it in their models to build portfolios. They want to see it, and sometimes it's an internal platform, sometimes it's a third-party platform. They want to see it in the reporting tools, in the accounting tools. So it's also about going where they are and be giving them the information they need in the moment, right? And that's not as easy as it sounds.